What's up, guys? Jonathan with Firebox Campaign, and today I've got something kind of cool, a little retro style AR build that I'm working on. I have an original Colt 4x20 scope up here, and today we're going to be zeroing this thing. It's pretty cool. It's pretty retro. I like it. I'm doing a lethal weapons competition coming in October, so this is the platform I think I'm going to run. Pretty sweet little setup. It's got an A2 style carry handle on it, but I've already had a few rounds through this thing, and I'm zeroed at 25 yards. If my hold is low at 100, I can hit center mass, but this is supposed to be zeroed at 100 yards. So we're going to make some adjustments and go ahead and zero this bitch in at 100. We'll go over a little bit more on the Colt 4x20 in just a few minutes. If you like this shit, comment, like, subscribe. Stay tuned. It should be a cool little retro style build. So the Colt 4x20 sight is a oldie but goodie. This was back in the 90s. They were using this all over the military and police forces. The glass clarity isn't the greatest. This isn't original to my knowledge. I don't have any paperwork, if anything, to prove it. But the shop that I bought it from had two of them. It has the original bolt that the Brownells does not have, so that's kind of what makes me think it's an original. And it also underneath has the Japan AP or OP, whatever the stamp is, on the bottom. So I'm 99% sure this is original. If you have any comments, please leave them down in the comments below. But just to go over a couple things, guys, we're going to zero at this at 100 yards today. The turrets are built in up here, and they're designed that you can take these little caps off, and you would use a steel casing of some sort to adjust the windage and elevation. They have markings in there built for brass case, so you can just take a brass casing, put it on there, and turn these on the fly. Unscrew this guy to adjust your elevation, and in the middle there, again, it's built in, so you can just use a brass casing or a steel case to put on there and twist it. Now the markings on the back side are for distances. So it has 1 to 2, it has a 3, a 4, and a 500 yard mark. And it ranges out to 100 yards. This thing's supposed to be zeroed at 100 meters, which is what I'm doing here today. So let's get back into the zero process and see what kind of groups I can get with this Bushmaster. Okay, so again, I've already confirmed a 25 yard zero. So at 100 yards, aiming to the bottom of the target, it puts me roughly 6 to 7 inches high. So I'm already on paper at 100, aiming on the bottom of the target. So what I'm going to do is just adjust my elevation down. Oh, I don't know, half turn. This thing doesn't actually have audible clicks, so it's kind of hard to adjust based on that. You just kind of gotta turn it as you go. So let's put some rounds down target. I have a paper target at 100 yards, and let's see what kind of groups we get here. Hold that one. All right, let's go check. Okay, so at 100 yards, not horrible. I still need to go up a little bit. My shots are a little far apart, and I did pull one. These other shots are from 7x39. I was shooting an AK earlier, zeroing that in too. So not the best groups, guys. The trigger on this thing's pretty heavy, so the trigger pull, I'm going to definitely switch that out at some point. But there's a group right there. I was aiming here, so I still need to go up just a little bit, maybe another half turn. Okay, so I shot another 5-shot group, and I'm still kind of high. I honestly don't know how much to go down on this because there's no audible clicks, and I don't have a manual to say, you know, 5-click adjustment for 2 MOA or something. So we're just going to go down on it, maybe a quarter turn at a time, to see where we end up. I'm probably about 3 or 4 MOA high as it stands right now. I need to get some retro metal magazines for this thing to kind of make it look cooler, along with a car stock. But let's send 5 more at 100. Nice, easy, smooth trigger pull. Deep breath. This is a heavy trigger. It's probably 7 or 8 pounds if I had to take a guess. I will switch this trigger out for something else at some point, but The accuracy seems, my last shot group was about 2 MOA, so I'm really trying to feel the brake on this trigger because there isn't one. It's just kind of a roll through, about 7 or 8 pounds, and then it fires. So it's kind of hard to stay accurate with this trigger. Let's go see what we did. So at 100 yards, I'm going to be okay with this 0 with that optic and that barrel that I'm using. The trigger is really heavy. I could probably tighten this up just a little bit, but the crosshairs I'll show you in a minute on that optic is just that. It's a crosshair. So this whole center right here is covered up with the crosshair. I can't even see it. So I'm just shooting in that direction. So maybe my windage is off just a little bit, but I'm going to call that 0 at 100 yards for now until I can maybe shoot a tighter group. But for now, that's good to go. So you can see the crosshairs, and at 100 meters, those crosshairs basically cover up most of the target. So getting tight groups with this thing is kind of challenging. The biggest part of this is the glass clarity on these original Colt 4x20s isn't the clearest. Brownells probably makes, from what I hear, I haven't used one, a more clear with some upgraded technology. But now you've got a pretty good understanding of what I'm looking through at 100 meters. If I were to put that on the head box, which I can't because I'm holding the camera, it would basically cover that entire head box. So those groups you saw weren't the greatest, but with this setup, I think it's reasonably unacceptable. You can see all that steel target down there on the left. Let's throw some rounds down at that boy and see if we can hit steel. That steel target's roughly 125 yards. All right, let's see if we can plink that steel down there. Like I said, I think it's roughly 125 yards. Let's see if we can hit that motherfucker. Hit. Hit. High. Hit. 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 All hits minus a couple when I sped it up a little bit. This rifle is perfectly capable with this setup. I think it's kind of cool. It's retro. I'm going to be using this in a lethal weapons competition coming up in October. If you're going to be there, hit me up. Let me know. Guys, comment, like, subscribe. Drop a comment down there. Love to hear from you. What else can I do to make this a little bit more retro? I'm going to change the stock. I'm going to change these out to some metal mags. But let me know in the comments, guys. Peace out. Love y'all.